Hello everybody and welcome back to Football Manager 2023. Now I'm a little bit poorly, sore throat, blocked nose sort of thing. So if this isn't with my usual guile and enthusiasm, then I apologise. But I really wanted to get this save going, and I am delighted to announce we've taken charge of Guiseley, which I'm pretty sure is how you say that name, but I could be wrong. So let me know down below. But yes, we've gone with Guiseley. There was more than I thought people would be interested in this, and it's great. We had loads of people saying why we should have been FC United and Manchester, why we should have been Tamworth, why we should have been the police force, which I just think was too difficult. I would have loved to have been the Metropolitan Police in this save, but looking at their squad and looking at their reputation and everything like that, I think it would have been one hell of a struggle. And we'll be, keeping up with these teams as this save progresses, and I've got a feeling the Metropolitan Police are going to finish bottom of the National South, and they're going to finish bottom by quite some way. They are just a terrible, terrible team. But yeah, we've taken over at Guiseley. Big shout out to Hitchin, who we're actually going to be playing first in the league. That away kit is a piece of beauty. It's a lovely away kit, but it wasn't enough to sway me away from Guiseley. And I talked to a lot of people on the forums and took things into advice about who to start with and things like that. And a lot of people were like, you will be mental if you don't start with Guiseley in your first ever attempt of the Youth Academy save. Out of all those teams available, it came down to basically FC United and Manchester and Guiseley. And we've gone for Guiseley purely because they have some staff, basically. They have staff, and the chairman and the board don't have any sort of goals for the season. FC United and Manchester had signed players under 23 for the first team, which obviously we're not allowed to do. So, yes, we've taken charge of Guiseley. So let's dive into it. And Guiseley, I'm pretty sure is how you say it, Guiseley. Let's dive in and have a look. So in this first episode of the save, what we're basically going to do is look at the club in a bit more detail, look at the players we have, look at what has happened in the previous season, look how those players performed in the unplayable league, and see what sort of tactics and shape we can play, I guess. First off then, we have been appointed. It is confirmed that we are there. There I am, looking very mean and angry. Yeah, eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the inexperienced 37, I'm actually 36, thank you Football Manager, but this is a year in advance, 37-year-old, and he is sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Nethermore, which definitely sounds like a place from Narnia. Nichols has put pen to paper on a one-year deal worth £675 a week. His first game in charge will be against Hitchin Town in the National League North on the 12th of the 8th, 2023. So we've got a bit of time to not sign anyone and try and get our players into shape. He replaces previous manager Danny Ellis. Bye, Danny. Nichols lacks the reputation of a survival specialist. I mean, I've survived on the planet Earth for 37 years. Surely that's got to count for something. It creates an intriguing dynamic with many pundits expecting them to face a battle to avoid relegation this season. Yes, it's going to be tough, basically. Right, so I've already looked at a few bits of news while we've been in here. And, negotiations that are happening. No ins are coming. There was actually one pre-arranged, but the thing says as long as they're not at the club now, you can't sign anyone. So it was a 16-year-old youngster, but we've cancelled that. And Lewis Gardner, who is not a very good left-back, is looking like he's going to sign for Cheshire. So off he goes. In terms of contracts, there are 4 players running out of contract, and the previous manager had offered all 4 of them contracts. So I'm more than happy with that because we need as many players as possible. We need to go and set up a tactic, but we won't do that until we've looked at the squad. The supporter profile, the new thing on Football Manager. So, in terms of what the supporters want, they want us to be competitive against Halifax Town if we ever play them. Nice to know. And they want us to remain in the National League North. Well, I'll tell you right now, if we don't remain in the National League North, the first attempt at this save ends, we get sacked, and we start again with a different club somewhere. But yeah, 11% hardcore supporters, 30% core, 30% family, 7% fair weather, 0 corporate sponsors, 22% casual sponsors. They have a low influence on the board. Nearly 3,500 followers on social media, which is very good. Not quite as many as I have subscribed on YouTube, but, keep going, Guiseley, you'll get there. 273 supporters as season ticket holders, and there is 0 on the waiting list. Lovely. In terms of the club vision then, so yes, they have no informational objectives at this time, which is lovely. avoid relegation from the National League North, be competitive in the FA Cup, be competitive in the FA Trophy. My contract expires, and then basically the 5-year plan is don't get relegated from the National League North. So expectations are pretty low, so we are going to go and accept that one. That's fine. But yeah, we need to go and have a look at the squad so that we can set up a tactic. So here is our squad, and that is everyone from the senior team and the under-18s. This is everyone. And given that we have Lewis Gardner, who's probably going to be moving to Cheshire, and Scott Godden, who's on loan, which means his loan will expire at the end of the season, minus those two out of it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 players, which isn't very many, and we can't sign anyone else until we get our youth income. So, youth intake is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, first thing that jumps out of me, we've only got one goalkeeper, so well done, Kyle. You are our first choice goalkeeper. 6 foot, he can kick, his handling's okay. He's not very good at communicating. Command of the area is okay. Aerial reach is pretty good. He likes to punch it. Reflexes are decent. Throwing's okay. All right, we can work with this. 23 years old. How did he get on for the club last year in their promotion stint? So a 6.6 in the league below is not ideal. And he conceded 30 in 34, keeping 13 clean sheets. Okay, let's not let the opposition shoot at all. That is something we're going to have to try and do. Looks like he's bounced around up in the north of England, across the lower leagues. Has played for Halifax Town, our big rivals. Has played in the National League North before for Farsley, so he's going to have that sort of experience as well. Okay, we have our first choice goalkeeper. Right, looking at now, let's actually sort by best position, see who plays where. So right backs, Jamal Ibel, because if that was an A, I'd say Abel. So I'm going to go Ibel. It's not Ibley, I'm going to go Ibel. Like an eyeball. And 29-year-old international for Kits and St Nevans, which is awesome. Glad we got an international here. Right. Best position is right back. He wants to play centre back, basically. 6'2". I'm leaning towards putting him at centre back. I'm not going to lie. I'm leaning towards putting him at centre back. Can't dribble, really. Can't finish. Hasn't got a good first touch. Free kicks are poor. Can't shoot from distance. He can mark, and he can head, and he can tackle. Probably a centre-back. Balance is good. Jumping reach is good. Pace is okay. Strength is okay as well for this level. I'm probably going to say your best position is actually centre-back and not right-back, Jamil. But welcome on. What's your history then? You played for Guiseley last year. Only 6 appearances in the lower league. Interesting. Okay, again, looks to have bounced around sort of lower division football. A bit of League 2 here and there. Didn't play any games. But a little bit of League 2 with Stockport and York. National League, quite a lot of experience in the National Leagues and North and things like that. In fact, no, it's not. It's all the lower divisions. So, okay, Jamil Ibel, we'll see. We'll see how he gets on. Who else? Yep. Someone's returning from holiday. Excellent. Can you go away, please? There we go. Ethan Vaughan. So right back. Now you're talking. A bit of pace. Crossing 9. Yes. Ethan. That wouldn't be Ethan, wouldn't it? Ethan would be... I don't know. We'll call him Ethan Vaughan. We'll call him Vaughan. He can tackle. He's got a long throw, which is great at lower league. Crossing's okay. Pace is good. Determination is vital in a youth academy save, so I've been reading on the forums. And yeah, okay. I don't mind that at right back. 21-year-old Welshman. 6.9 last year in the promotion challenge that we weren't involved of. Has played at the National League before. Was at Burnley and Huddersfield and Norwich in the Premier League. We've got ourselves a gem. Vaughan, I think, is going to be crucial for us at right back. Look at that smiley face. Delighted to have him aboard. Excellent stuff. Right, centre-backs then. Spencer Harris, 32 years old. Looks like a bit of a stalwart at the back. Looks like he's going to take no nonsense. Really determined, which is great. Heading's good, marking's good, tackling's decent, jumping reach is okay, really slow, so he's not going to be pushing up anytime soon. Did he play last year? 34 appearances, 1 goal, a 6.5. I'm hoping that as we go through this team, they've got a standout striker, which means their defence was so poor they just scored loads of goals. That's what I'm hoping for. Because for him to play 34 times and get us basically what is a 6.5, 6.6, and them still to get promoted, they must have been pretty poor at the back. But a little bit of experience here and there. League One early on in his career with Huddersfield. He had a little stint in Australia. National League North, National League North, National League North. So, yeah, an experienced centre-back, potentially captain with a leadership 14. I don't mind that. That's pretty good. He's determined to prove his worth to the team, and his contract is expiring. So we are going to go through contracts and just make sure we have offered everybody contracts that you can see at the moment. We haven't offered Spencer Harris one, and we need to have as many people around as possible. So next up, George Sakura, 21-year-old English centre-back. Looks good. 6'4". We found our man from corners at the back post. Come on. Heading, good. Marking, decent. Tackling, okay. Aggression, bravery. Concentration's a bit low, but determination, good. Really bad at positioning. Teamwork, work rate, jumping reach, strength. Yeah, he could be getting a lot of goals. Could be getting a lot of goals for us. 34 appearances, 2 goals, 6.68, so 6.7 nearly for Guiseley last year in the promotion run. Interesting. Played for FC United and Manchester previously, who we turned down in this save a chance to manage. His highest experience is with Bradford, where he played 1 game, I think. So, but hopefully, George Sakura will be good for us. Only 21 as well, so a lot of room for growth, which I quite like the idea of. But I think at the moment we're leaning towards having this on holiday thing that keeps popping up. It's annoying. Ethan Vaughan at right back, and then I'm leaning towards Sakura and Eyeball at centre back. Right, sorry about that. Edit there. Just had to have a little drink. Throat is starting to really hurt, and I've only got to the left backs. Right, George Smith, 26 years old, English left back, can cross at this level. That's not too bad. Got a bit of pace about him. Okay, starting left back, I'd imagine. This guy, 34 appearances last year, 6.8, getting to a 6.9, 4 assists. Looking decent. Had a bit of championship upbringing, League One's all with Barnsley. Moved around a little bit after that. Had a stint at Dover, which is near to my hometown of Folkestone. 7 appearances for them in the National League, and then back up north to where he feels a bit more comfortable, it looks like. But okay, and wants to be a wing back on defend, or prefers to do that. 1-2s and hugs line. Yeah, I need to keep an eye out for player traits at lower level, because a lot of players don't have them. So when they do have them, it takes you by surprise, and they're very easy to forget. So he's basically going to play very, very wide and look to pass his way round his opponents. Okay, that's something we can work with. We can remember that when we put the tactics teams. Right, I'm not going to look at Scott Godden because he's on loan. His contract's going to expire. Not going to look... Well, we'll look at Lewis Gardner. He's terrible. He's moving to Cheshire. Sorry, Lewis, if you're watching. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we're into the midfielders. So left back is going to be a bit of an issue because we've only got 1. And although Eyeball can play all around, so rotation will have to happen. Chimalio, which is a great name. Donald Chimalio, Zambian, love that, in the team. Acceleration 12, pace 12, crossing not brilliant, dribbling's good, flair off the ball, really doesn't want to work hard, can't pass, can't really tackle. You, for me, are probably going to be a lot more advanced, so we don't ask you to defend or do anything that you don't want to do. Right. Last year, didn't play for Guiseley. Okay, so he's sort of made his way up from the lower leagues a lot, and is now being given a chance at Guiseley, which is interesting. Emergency backup, so he's not expecting to play a lot. But we do have Donald Chimalo, a 22-year-old Zambian, in our ranks, which is good. I'm going to assume he must have no second nationality either. Wow, okay. Awesome. Well, Donald Chimalo is in. He's an option at right midfield, left midfield, attacking midfield right, and attacking midfield left. Love it. So next up, Nathaniel Crofts, who also is a preferred right midfielder as well. Contract is a regular starter, £500 a week. Pace is good, crossing, dribbling, off the ball isn't too good, but work rate's much better than the Zambian. And yeah, okay, this is looking promising. 34 appearances last season in the promotion, 6.9. Had a big stint out in US at US colleges, so generally just played for a US college team, but started his career at Sheffield United. So a bit of pedigree there, and I like the pace. I like all of that. I feel like there's something we can work with the players we've seen so far. Again, right, traits: knocks ball past the opponent and tries tricks. Flair 11. Okay, don't mind that. Again, versatile. Right, left, and up front. So plenty of options for Nathaniel Crofts. Mohamed Kwazim. Yeah, okay. This is so he wants. Well, the assistant manager, if we have one, thinks he's better at playing advanced forward and that's probably because of his pace 12 and finishing ability of 11. So, of what I've seen so far, he's the one most likely to be starting up top and doing well. So, what's his history here? Again, brought up from really lower league, 34 appearances, 8 goals, 8 assists, and a 6.99. So one of the standout players rating wise we've seen so far. Sort of makes sense. Get him onto the end of through balls, we could be seeing some goals. That's good to know. 5'7", a little bit short, so we won't be putting them in the air if he is playing them up front. Okay, Mohamed Quazim, love that. I assume your contract's also expiring, to be honest. Oh, you're on a non-contract. Might have to sort that out. Oh, yeah, non-contract. Right, into the central midfielders then. Luke Dean, 32 years old. Very determined. That's what jumped out at me original. Short, simple passes. I don't mind that from my central midfielders. Ball-winning midfielder is what they're saying. We've got good passing. Like tackling is good. Teamwork, work great. Aggression. Maybe a red card or two coming this way. Last year, 34 appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist, 1 player of the match, 6.75. He's been called up from the Yorkshire amateur team. Okay, has he got a bit of pedigree? Bradford is where he sort of stayed for a while learning his trade and then bounced around the National League North by the looks of things. Okay, so he's used to this level of football. He's played a lot of football as well at this sort of level. 25 games for Harrogate, 60 games for Bradford PA. Okay, all right, then drop down the divisions a little bit. But 32 years old. Okay, I think we could potentially find a team, find a position for him. He's a very good squad player to have. What a name this guy has. Callum Chippendale, central midfielder, 26-year-old from England. He's a fringe player. Yeah, he's lacking quite a lot physically, which is ironic for a Chippendale because, you know, that's what they are known for. Their bodies, let's call it. Corners are good, free kicks are good. He could be our set piece specialist, very determined, which is good. Passing and technique's okay. He can do a job for us. 1 appearance last year for Guiseley, but he did get a 7.6 in that appearance. Another one that started his career at Bradford and then has sort of made his way around the lower leagues, but it seems pretty loyal. It's not too many teams here. 3 stints at Matlock, which I think is Derby way, I think. Buxton as well, Glossop in there, so... yeah, okay. He'll do a job for us. He'll be a nice little rotation player to bring in. Who have we got up next? Ross Daly, central midfielder again, 34 years old. Looks well-travelled midfielder. That's going to be interesting to see then, isn't it? Looks okay. I think not surplus to requirements is... I mean, nobody, let's be honest, right? Nobody in this team is... where's Happiness? There it is. No, regular starter. So nobody in this team... is let's go impact sub for now. Nobody in this team is surplus to requirements, I'll tell you that right now. Ross Daly then, where have you been? Oh yeah, okay. Thackley, Bradford PA, Thackley, Farsley, Bradford PA, Farsley, Hyde, Yorkshire Amateur, Liver's Edge, signed for Guiseley. And played a lot. 34 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists, 2 player of the matches and a 6.8. Helped his team to promotion. So he played a lot last year. Let's see how he fits in for the squad this time. So Lewis Hay. Hey, Lewis is up next. 20 years old, English, looking like he's going to be pretty athletic actually. Central midfielder, passing, tackling, crossing, anticipation, determination, teamwork, work rate. Yeah, likes to dictate the tempo. Interesting. So he fancies himself as a bit of a playmaker if he likes to dictate the tempo. He's been at Guiseley for his whole career, it seems. 34 appearances last year, 5 goals, 6 assists, 2 player of the matches, a 6.91. Okay, we're going to be leaning on who got highest ratings last year quite a lot, I think, when we start this save and start the tactic and start picking people, because if they did well last year, I'm hoping they can bring that into this year. And as we can't sign people, we've just got to go on what we can see and what we can judge by looking at this. So... okay, so dictates the tempo means he's not going to want direct passing. He's going to want short passing and a slower, probably, tempo. There you go. Increases the chance of the player taking charge of predominantly midfield situations and using their attributes to influence the team's performance. So, yeah, okay, that'll be his passing. He'll be looking at technique might need to be better. Might have to train that left as well, left-footed. But yeah, again, not too bad. He can play midfield left as well, so worth keeping an eye on that. Right, Andy Kellett can play all up the left-hand side. 29 years old. Physicals are lacking a little bit. Wants to be, or prefers to be, a midfield left. Can play in the centre. Can play off the striker as well. So, okay, versatility's good, though. When we can't sign other people, versatility is good. Right, where have you come from? Bolton, a big stint in Bolton. Premier League, Championship. Then also played for Wigan in the Championship, and then dropped to Chesterfield in League 2, National League North. Again, another player that's been sort of bouncing around this sort of level. Actually, Guiseley in the National League North. So he's been relegated and now promoted again with Guiseley. So I'm hoping he knows what that feels like and he can help us out. 6.78, 34 appearances, 6 assists. So, okay, not looking too bad there for Andy Kellett. Next up, as we get to the end, Nicky Walker, another left midfielder, but can play on the right, can also do a job up front if needs be. Pace is okay, strength is pretty weak. Passing's decent, crossing's decent, corners is decent. Lacking a bit off the ball, but flair, vision, work rate, okay. Yeah, no, not too bad here. Signed for an undisclosed fee in the Evo Stick League Premier Division. 25 appearances, 6.88, 3 assists as well. So, yeah, pretty good. Rotherham is probably the biggest club he's played for there in the Championship. But all of his time has been spent around the sort of lower leagues, National League North sort of area. But Nicky Walker, hoping we can produce something with you, lad. Jake Cassidy is a striker and our key player, according to our club's information page. Jake Cassidy scored 10 goals in 34 with a 6.85 last year. He was in with Wolves in the Premier League when they were there. That's where he's sort of picked up from the Welsh leagues, it looks like, playing for Airbus. But yeah, so Tranmere Wolves. He seemed to want to be a bit closer to home. Tranmere obviously not too far from Wales. Oldham Athletic, played for Guiseley previously, scoring 8 in 30. Moved to Hartlepool, Maidstone, Maidenhead, Stevenage, York, Darlington. So very familiar with the National League North, and actually scored for Stevenage in League 2 not too long ago as well. So hopefully he is the man to get us our goals. Good strength, determination's good, aggression, he's aggressive, finishing, first touch, heading, penalty taking, not bad. A bit of a target forward at 5'11", shoots with power, argues with officials, and plays with back to goal. So if he's definitely playing with his back to goal, we're definitely using him as a target man, and we're not putting balls in behind. So yes, that is the key there for Jake Cassidy. And the only other striker we have is Adam Hoare, 21 years old. Says it likes to be a pressing forward, no player traits. Finishing 10, first touch 10. Good teamwork, good work rate, determined. A bit of pace behind him, good stamina. What did he do last year? 4 goals in 25, 3 assists, 6.69. Okay, and he's been around Guiseley. Started at Leeds. Had a little stint at Burnley as well. Bradford in League 1. So yeah, okay, he's got a bit of a reputation and he's only 21, so I'm quite keen to see what this squad can do. That looks like, to me, a pretty decent squad. We are going to be lacking at left back. We've got a bit of versatility that we can play with as well. Staff-wise, what have we actually got here? Let's have a look at all of our staff. So we've got chairperson Daniel Newton, so we can't see his stats, obviously. We already have a head of youth development and an under-18s head coach, Dave Curry, who loves to work with youngsters and is pretty determined as well. Good. You can keep your job. That's lovely. And we have a goalkeeping coach, Carlos Lenehan. So determination isn't amazing. His goalkeeper coaching isn't amazing, but he's better than, like, having nothing. And he's wanted by Southport and his contract's about to expire. So I probably think we will extend and like try and give these guys new contracts to keep them on board, especially in line with my contract, maybe just a year. But yeah, okay. Have we got positions to fill? So we need an assistant manager. We need another coach and a head performance analyst. A director of football if we want one. A chief scout and 2 scouts. We need a head physio and a physio. Okay, so not too bad. And you can see here actually our actual scouting, our actual coaching isn't too bad in terms of a level. We're not right at the bottom. So okay, not too bad at all. Dynamics-wise then, let's have a look to see who's leading this team. No one is a team leader, but Smith and Cassidy are there. So Cassidy's currently vice-captain. Smith is captain. Yeah, leadership 14, I can see that. Cassidy's, has he got it just because he's the key player, potentially. Some influential players and then other players down here as well, which don't really matter. Social groups, everyone's in it, other than Chimalo, our Zambian. I'm sure he'll integrate himself over time. Happiness-wise, everyone seems pretty happy other than Scott Godden, who's going to be returning to Leeds, I think. Is that the Leeds? Yeah, on loan from Leeds. So, yeah, he's going to be returning to Leeds anyway. Okay, so we're okay. The team cohesion, decent. we're doing all right. Schedule-wise, there's no friendlies arranged other than our second 11, so I'm going to arrange lots of them. And the first game is Hitchin, who we could have also been managing in this save, but we chose to go with Guiseley. I'm very intrigued by this, about how we're going to do. I'm very, very intrigued. So, the general information, I think we already looked at this before. Facilities-wise, adequate training facilities, adequate youth facilities, youth level 3, average academy coaching, and basic youth recruitment as well. So, we don't know if our chairman is positive about youth or anything like that. I'm not going to make a request just yet because, you know, we haven't even been in the job a day yet. But at the moment, we're looking pretty decent, to be honest. So I think we're going to go through, well, I mean, tactics-wise, what do we want to do? Park the bus is something that we could do. Route 1 or wing play. Well, I don't really want to do route 1 or park the bus to start with. I think it's got to be wing play, right? Because we're going to have our target forward up there. So I'm not against wing play, and I'm not against a 4-3-3. And I think that's the sort of thing that, you know, we potentially start with that. I'm also not against going 5 at the back or 3 at the back with wing backs and just blocking out, having a proper like defensive line in here. But I'll be doing all of the pre-season friendlies. I think to start with, that's definitely going to be a target forward. We know that. I think I'll do all the pre-season friendlies and try and figure out what our shape is going to be. And when we come back, this might have completely changed all of this setup and the in possession, out of possession and transition stuff and the roles and stuff may have changed just so that I can see how it all functions in the match engine, and I'll talk you through all of that as well. But we obviously know one thing, and that is Cassidy is starting up front as a target forward. So, excellent. Right, any hints, any tips, any advice, please do get them in down below in the comment section. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm going to try and update the forums with it as well, I think, but I might just do it at the end of each season rather than as we go, because that's what the videos are for, to see how it progresses and how it's running like that. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit better by the time I record the next video. We'll just have to wait and find out for that one, won't we? But thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.